Welcome to all Caribbean entrepreneurs. If you've been ready and waiting to take your business digital and get paid online while you sip something strong on the beach, this podcast is for you. We'll hear from the Caribbean's finest entrepreneurs on topics like e-commerce, business development, brand building, social media, their wins and failures. This is the only place in the region helping you navigate the digital age from the Caribbean's perspective. This is Digipreneur FM. And now, let's give it up for the Digiboss himself, Mr. Karan Rose.
Thank you to everybody tuning in to another episode of the Digipreneur FM podcast. And as usual, it is your boy, Mr. Rose. I hope all of you are doing amazing today. DJ, fade us all the way out because we got another awesome show for the people. It is July 25th, and this is episode number 87. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! 87. We're getting up there. I'm actually excited to hit episode 100. I'm excited because, you know, when you start these journeys, you never know where you are going to end up, where it is going to lead to, who is going to be listening, who is going to be anticipating the next. Like, you just never know. You never know. And you always have to find reasons to kind of excite yourself when you do create content, all right? So right now, for me, podcasting, it definitely is one of my favorite mediums to create content for. I still love to blog. But I think over the weekend, I dropped a new blog yesterday on Sunday. And when I was looking through, the last couple of blogs I've done, I was like, yo, I fell off of blogging. Because I went through a crazy run where from 2016 up until 2020, I was blogging every week. Now, the majority of the blogs were done for Droid Island, right? That was the business. And then I shut down Droid Island beginning of last year, just because, man, customs was just hurting my feelings, But besides that, with Droid Island, you grow, you evolve. And, I've been in the smartphone industry and the tech industry since I was 19. I'm 35 now, so it's been a while, right? And I don't have the zeal as I once did, to talk smartphones. Kudos to the tech bloggers who are still doing their thing, up to this day. Because, man, listen, I don't think you guys realize that some of these guys have been creating content. Well, I'm talking about the tech industry, right? But some of these guys that I've been following to learn from have been, out since, before I was 19, before I got started. And you've kind of just seen them evolve over the years, and all of a sudden, they're grown adults, kids, life is happening, married, like, wow, anyways. I say all that to say that I was looking over the weekend and I realized that the last year and change, I've fallen off of blogging. Like, blogs are coming out, few and far between. But then I'm like, but I'm always writing. And then it just hit me that I'm writing for so many other things that I just haven't written something. I haven't been consistently writing for the Karan Rose website. But I've been writing, So when I was looking back and I'm like, wait a minute, it's weeks and months before a blog is out on KaranRose.com. What's going on? I'm always writing. And I thought about it. I'm like, oh, I'm writing for every single thing else except for the Karan Rose platform. So, I'm making a commitment. I'm recommitting myself to blogging on the Karen Rose platform, because when you are creating content, web content for your website, that's really the number one way to grow your website. If you want to grow the traffic coming into your website, if you want to grow your overall digital presence, your website's your number one tool to do that. So creating content, creating your blogs, if you're doing, YouTube videos, embedding the YouTube videos, as a post on your website and having a little write-up, podcasting, embedding the podcast audio and having a little write-up underneath the podcast. All of those things dramatically help increase your searchability, because now you're Googleable for more things than just your brand name. You're going to be being Googled for topics, right? People are going to be going to Google, typing in their questions, their queries, and your content will be showing up. And the more content you create is the more breadcrumbs you're going to be leaving online to drive people back to your platform. So that's how they're going to find you on Google. That's how they're going to stay on your website longer, because they're going to be reading more of your content. Content is the number one way that you're going to be able to get people to subscribe to things like your email list, your web notifications list, your SMS list, right? It also helps to increase your pixel pools, your Google pixel, your Twitter pixel, your Facebook pixel, the most popular one. The more people that are coming to your website, the more your pixels can tag these visitors. That way you could retarget them after they leave the website and they never take any action, right? So content on your website is critical, right? And like I said, when I looked at my website, I'm like, wait a minute, I've been slacking off blogs. I have to recommit, because I am constantly trying to keep the Karen Rose website as one of the number one resources for all things e-commerce, online business across the entire Caribbean. All right. So when I was looking at my Google Search Console numbers over the weekend, I was seeing improvement. Even though I haven't been consistently blogging, I've been doing so many other things. I've been in the papers, right? And in the papers, in one of our top papers in the country, writing in the papers. Remember, I get to leave a link back to my website, right? Google picks that up. So when people Google my name, they're gonna, or when they read the papers, or when they read the online e-paper, they're gonna see my name and stuff like that. And then they can always, come and check out my website. So that's been bringing traffic back to the platform. Then I'm on radio every single Friday. And remember, people are going to be listening in. We have an international audience on the radio. That's going to be bringing in traffic to the website as well, right? So I'm seeing the numbers increase, but now I'm like, you know what? Now we gotta double down. We gotta hit everybody from all sides. So I want to be getting the traffic from all of the off-page SEO sources. So when we talk off-page SEO is, what are you doing outside of your website to bring traffic to your website? Google is checking for those things. Newspapers, that's a big ranking factor that Google factors in. Again, when we're on radio, we live stream as well, right? So all of these little things can bring in traffic. And I want the content. I want more content coming on the platform to, again, spread more breadcrumbs. So right now, when I looked at the numbers, I am, I'm appearing in about 26,000 Google searches a month, right? And the reason why, when you're looking at your Google Search Console numbers, the reason why impressions over there are worth 1,000 times more than impressions on social media is because an impression on Google means somebody had to take action. Somebody had to jump on Google, type in a question or a query, and your content had to show up in the results, right? So the more impressions you can get, Google can also clip out information from your website to show it as a featured snippet or in the people also ask. So people can get information without having to click through to your website. So while click-throughs are nice, the reality is that the international click-through rates for people seeing a result and clicking through, the international rates between 2 to 10% depending on your industry, right? Currently, I'm at 3%. So for me, what I want to do is I want to increase more impressions. And if I can increase more impressions, that means more people are taking action. More people are typing in search queries or questions, and my content is showing up. The more I am shown in results is the more or the higher chances I'll have to increase click-through rates or showing up in the featured snippets or the people also ask. So as long as I'm showing up in featured snippets or people also ask, I don't mind not having the click-through rates, right? Because it's a bit of a trade-off. People are going to get their information, and that might answer the question. They might not need to click through and read the whole entire thing. But if you increase your impressions, then you're going to be able to increase your chances of people clicking through, and then once they click through, they can, enter your pixel pool or enter into your email list, your notification list, or any other things that we have spoken about, right? So to appear in 26,000 Google searches, that's the highest number that I've been at to date. So my goal is I want to get to 30,000 searches a month. I want to appear in a minimum of 30,000 searches a month. And I'm going to work hard over the next 2 to 3 months to go from 26,000 searches to 30,000 searches. And, that's, I think for me right now where I'm at, if I end 2022 appearing in 30,000 Google searches a month, then I could pat myself on the back. I could feel good about that. And then we'll increase that goal for next year. But the goal right now is 30,000 searches a month. And and like I said, appearing in Google searches, that's organic traffic. That's traffic that you, right, people can do their own research at their own time. Go on Google, type in things, and you're showing up. And that's how you're going to get a steady flow of people coming into your platforms. That's going to generate leads and sales for your business. All right? So I say all of that. To dive into the topic for today's episode. And the topic for today's episode centers around marketing from insurance agents. What is missing from insurance agents' marketing plans? That's the topic for today. Now, this topic came about because I think we can largely agree that some of the worst or the most annoying interactions we've had with sales reps are typically insurance agents. They will get you at any time they can get you, right? And it's not to say that insurance is not needed or insurance isn't good or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But the way insurance agents sell and market has to be the most archaic and annoying way of selling and marketing to date. And it just hasn't changed. They haven't evolved. The companies haven't evolved. The agents haven't evolved. They're still being taught in some archaic methods. And it is annoying, man. It is annoying. And what the agents and the companies need to realize is that the consumers have changed. The consumers are more savvy. So let me give you a story. Like a week or two ago, I'm winding down. I had some food. It's after 7 o'clock. It's like 7:30, somewhere there, going into 8 o'clock. I had some food. I went and took a shower. I'm getting dressed. I'm winding down to go and, go to bed. And my phone rings. And it's an unknown. I don't have the number in my phone. So the number shows up. So I'm like, who is calling me? Now, if you don't know me, I don't like unsolicited calls. Like I tend to not answer the phone, right? Like I prefer someone messaging me and saying, "Hey, you free?" And then I'll say yay or nay, because not every time I'm in the mood to speak. And people don't leave voicemails anymore, right? People don't leave voicemails anymore. So I see the number, and I'm like, let me just answer it. Maybe it's $1 million in the line, and I could do it with $1 million. So let me answer the call. I answer the call, and the person says their name really quickly. I didn't catch their name. So I was like, oh, okay, what's up? And they're like, yeah, they got my number from so-and-so. And I was like, Burr? I don't like when people give out my number at all. However, there are few people who feel the same way as me. So whenever we do give out each other's numbers without letting somebody know, we know it's because we've already vetted the person. They are serious, and it's usually 100% of the time it's business related, and the person is serious, right? But there's only a couple of people that, we have the understanding, right? So when I hear a certain name say they give up my number, I already know, oh, okay, cool, no problem. They would never give up my number if this person wasn't serious, right? The person's name that they said, I was like, why would they give up my number? we ain't even cool like that. Why would they be giving up my number? I'm not even cool with them like that. So they give up my number. They say they get it from this person. And here's the thing. The rep goes on to say they are from some insurance company, and they are inviting me down to their office for 30 minutes so that they can explain their offers to me. What day would I like to come in within the next 2 to 3 days? I laughed. I was like, excuse me? What? Like, no. First of all, he didn't ask if I already had insurance. He didn't ask. He didn't ask if I was available in the next 2 to 3 days. You didn't ask if I was interested in the services. You didn't ask a question. You jump on the line. You tell me. You are telling me that you want me to come down to the office, give up 30 minutes of my time. And it's obviously not 30 minutes because the time to go, there's traffic. Time to come back, traffic. No, it's not 30 minutes. All right? That's a couple hours, maybe even a half day. So you're telling me to come down to the office, and then you're telling me within the next 2 to 3 days, and what time would I like to come in at? So it was a no from the jump. I did not appreciate the fact that you're calling me after 7:30 at night. I didn't appreciate the phone call. I didn't appreciate anything that you said. It was an automatic no. It was an automatic no for everything. No, I don't even want to hear it. No, I don't want to hear nothing. And even if I was interested, I'm not speaking to you about it. And what happens is 99% of the interactions I get from insurance agents annoy the living daylights out of me every single time. The conversation always starts with friction. The conversation always starts with you putting me in a bad mood. Why? Because of your selling and marketing tactics. They are annoying. They are, they're bad. They're terrible. And the thing is, right? I have a running joke with my guy, Jared Best Mitchell, who, works with a few insurance agents trying to teach them how to sell. But I got to talk to Jared because I'm like, bro, I know you're out here doing the thing with the insurance agents, but these people ain't listening. They're not listening. And every single time I get a terrible interaction with an insurance agent, I always screenshot it and send it to him because I'm like, bro, you need to address this. You're working with these companies. You got to address this. And I've had calls from, it's either a call. I'm wondering if I should say these people's names. Man, Sagicor is terrible. Guardian, Beacon. All of y'all have your agents doing the worst amounts of marketing and selling tactics. So I've had 3 other DMs from the variety from Maritime, Guardian, Beacon. These reps slide in my DMs. And they go through a whole spiel. And it's via DM. And it's like, do these things actually work? First of all, you guys end up in a spam filter. Right? Because we're not connected. You end up in a spam filter. Or what a rep did was a rep had added me as a friend. And it was on Facebook. And again, I know more people are following me for things or whatever. So, this year I've accepted more people on Facebook requests that I don't necessarily know because I know people are finding me from however they're finding me and, they want to connect. No problem, right? I don't post anything other than business stuff anyway on Facebook. My Facebook isn't, personal. So I don't mind connecting. And they added me, and as soon as I accepted the friend request, within 0.5 seconds, bam, they pitch me about insurance. It was an automatic block and delete. It was automatic block. Within 0.5 seconds, I get a thesis about insurance. I'm like, no, man. So this is the annoyance with insurance agents and insurance companies. Because insurance companies, this is what you guys are approving this. You guys are sanctioning this. You guys have not changed the training, and the agents are out here doing the most. And every time I have a bad interaction with an insurance agent, I have an internal clock that resets. So once I get a bad interaction with an insurance agent, I don't want to hear from an insurance agent within the next 45 days. It's that bad. Like, I need to forget. I need a month and a half to forget about the last experience. That's how bad it is. I need a month and a half. I need 45 days. And anybody who pitches me within 45 days, automatic, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So that's why this episode is targeting marketing for insurance agents and insurance companies. All right? The outdated tactics, stop it. Because there's a better way to do it. Nobody thinks that insurance isn't needed. Sure, some people might think it's a scam or they've had a bad experience or yada yada. But I think the consensual census is that insurance is needed. But the way you sell it and the way you market it feels like a scam. It comes off like a pyramid scheme. It feels like a pyramid scheme. The things you're saying isn't pyramid schemish. And that's the upsetting part. The things that reps are talking about are not a pyramid scheme, and the words you're saying doesn't sound like a pyramid scheme. But the way you make me feel when you are speaking to me feels like a pyramid scheme. And that's where the problems lie. That's where the problems are. All right? So, what are we doing about it? So I did some research over the weekend where I'm like, man, what do people want when they're looking for insurance? How are the companies being found? Let's look into some data. If I did that over the weekend, I put out a blog, screenshots and everything. I'll actually link to the blog in the show notes so you can actually see some of the data that I put out in the blog. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit. But if you want the visual, you can click on the show notes and you'll see the blog and you'll see the visuals of the blog and the data that we're talking about, right? So I decided to pull up Tattle. Tattle is one of our insurance companies, one of the popular insurance companies in Trinidad. I decided to do some research on Tattle and also on the insurance agency on the insurance industry on the whole. So Tattle, I'm looking at their website. I'm looking at the, what type of traffic they're getting. What are the intentions when people are coming to their website? What types of questions, keywords people are putting in, right? I'm looking at all of those things. So when we analyze Tattle's website, look at this, right? 35% of all the traffic that comes to Tattle's website is people looking for information. That's the largest category. Of the 4 search intentions, 35% of the people that come to Tattle's website are looking for information. The problem is Tattle, unlike the rest of the companies, they don't put out content educating people on the various questions and queries that people have about insurance, right? However, people are still looking for information, and none of you guys are providing it. So 35% of the traffic that comes in to Tattle is for information. 19% is navigational, meaning people are directly typing in Tattle to go to their website from Google. So they go to Google, they type in Tattle rather than going in the search bar and typing in Tattle.com. So they would go to Google, type in Tattle, and then click on the link that pops up, right? So that's navigational. 15% is commercial, people, wanting information to make a purchasing decision. And then 29% is transactional. So transactional, people making a purchase or signing a form or requesting a quote, things of that nature, right? Transactional things. And so again, and that's 29%. 29% is the second largest people looking to make a transaction or do some business on the website. But the number one thing is 35% people coming in looking for information. All right. Now here's the next thing. The people who are visiting Tattle's website, or not visiting Tattle's website, but the people who are conducting a search on Google looking for Tattle. So they're going on Google and typing in Tattle. Here is the age range of the people. 66% of the people are 35 to 44. All right. The second largest group at 24% is, or not 24%, 18%. Second largest group is people between the ages of 25 to 34. These are the people Googling Tattle. The third largest group is the 45 to 54 crowd. All right. So if you know that the biggest people jumping on Google, searching for Tattle is between 35 to 44, then you need to start thinking about, what is happening between the ages of 35 to 44 that people would be looking about insurance, right? I'm 35. I fall in that bracket, right? Now is a good time for people 35 to 44. This is a great time for them to be thinking about insurance. Their lives are changing. They may have kids. There's a lot going on where now they're starting to be more responsible and they're thinking about insurance. However, none of you insurance companies have information targeting people at the different life stages. You have no content. Why would an 18-year-old? Because I do see people that are 18 searching for insurance. They're a small category, but they're still searching for it. What content are you guys putting out to address 18-year-olds? Why would an 18-year-old be looking for insurance? Maybe they're getting their first car. Why would somebody who is, because I do see a 65-plus crowd. 65-plus crowd is looking for insurance as well, or searching for Tattle as well. Why would somebody 65-plus be looking for insurance? You guys need to know the age ranges of everybody who is searching for insurance. And then you have to dig deeper to see what are they looking for within insurance. And then you guys need to be looking at what platforms are they hanging out on. What is happening in their life that they are looking for insurance? Or why would insurance be important for these different age brackets? If you don't have information addressing these things, then for one, your traffic is going to be low on Google, right? Because what happens is when people go to do their research, and this is exactly what happens when you go do your research right now. I was doing it on a weekend, and again, this is part of the reason why I'm doing the episode. But what happens is when people do their research, we don't get no information from a local context. So when I type in something as basic as Keyman Insurance, no insurance company in Trinidad pops up. None. When I look at all of the queries that people are searching for, no insurance company shows up in any of the search results in Trinidad and Tobago. And it's the same thing in Jamaica. What we get is we get all of the information from U.S. companies. And the reason the U.S. companies show up is because they are answering the questions that we have about insurance. But no company in the Caribbean is answering any question about insurance. You're not answering any questions. The content is not on your platforms. It's not being indexed. So because it's not being indexed by any search engine, when we, the consumer, looking to ask questions about insurance, none of your information shows up because it doesn't exist. You guys do not create any form of content. None of you. And what makes it even worse is that insurance agents themselves, because they don't understand marketing, they're creating social media content. And if you've been listening to me long enough, you know the problem right there. If all you're doing is creating social media content, then you are not indexable by the search engines, meaning you're not showing up in Google, Bing, Yahoo, or any search engine that we use. I'm not looking I'll be frank, we're not looking to follow you guys. We're not looking to follow insurance agents on social media. We're not looking to do that. We are not looking to follow insurance agents on social media. However, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, so don't take it the wrong way. All I'm saying is the place where we are going to find information about insurance, you are not there. Right? You are not there. I want to Google. We want to Google. We want to go on Bing. We want to go on Yahoo. We want to go on Google. We want to get information. We want to type in our questions. We want the information to show up. We want you to show up. We want you to show up with the tailored information answering our question in a local context. Because when I read the U.S. content, half of it isn't applicable. And I'm saying half. I'm being generous. I'm sure the local agents would read the U.S. content and be like, this isn't relevant for our market. Great. We can agree on that. But then where's your content? Where's your information? If you are not showing up in the number one way that people do research, then what are we doing? And that's the problem. So yes, you're creating social media videos, social media posts. That's cool. But you're not showing up in the number one way that people do research. And because you are insurance, you guys are already working from a negative. We already don't like you guys. We already have PTSD from all of the horrible experiences that we have had from previous agents trying to sell us and annoy us. So if you start to put out content in a manner that we can start to get the information from without having to speak to you, and you guys are searchable, we go on Google, we type in what is Keyman Insurance, and then you show up. That's how we're going to build trust. Then we're going to start to reach out. We're going to start to reach out. You're going to start to see an increase in returns because people can do their homework in the privacy of their own home, get a feel for you, build that trust with you, and then decide, okay, you know what? I don't like 99.9% of insurance agents, but you see this one person, right, this is the one person that I need. And insurance agents know that's all we need is one agent. All we need is that one person. All we need is that one person. All right? So looking at some other details, I decided to, see who is looking for tattoo. Because this is the type of information that you guys should be researching so that will help with your marketing and help with how you target people. So I type in tattoo and I start looking at, what parts of the country, what parts of the cities, or what parts of the country are searching for the tattoo insurance company. So over the last 12 months, and I'm sure every single insurance agent does not know this, the number one city looking for tattoo was Port of Spain. Number 2 was Digo-Martin. Number 3 was San Fernando. 4 was Princestown. 5 was Cuba. And if we narrow down the search to the past 30 days, number 1 city searching for Tatal is Port of Spain. 2nd, San Fernando. Number 3 is Cuba. 4 is Tunapuna. 5 is Princestown. Right? If we were to look to see, what cities in Trinidad are searching for health insurance, let's see. Let me find out what cities are looking for health insurance in Trinidad. Number 1, San Juan. Number 2, Cuba. 3, Tunapuna. All right? That's the top 3 cities in Trinidad searching for health insurance. And if we were to change that to car insurance, let's see what we get. So look at this. The top 5 cities searching for car insurance. Number 1 is Siparia. 2 is Cuba. 3 is Digo-Martin. 4 is San Juan. 5 is Chaguanas. The reason why understanding the demographics, where are the people searching for these things matters, because now if you're going to run ads, you can, rather than target the entire country, you can now target specific cities and increase the ROI of your ads. Also, if you're thinking about doing an offline activity, so if I wanted to do, maybe I want to visit an office and do a meet and greet, or, do an offline expo or roadshow, whatever. I'm going to start looking at what cities are Googling the car insurance. So Siparia is number 1. It's the top city searching for car insurance. Well, I'm going to visit the Siparia branch that we have, and I'm going to run ads in Siparia and the surrounding areas and invite people to come out to the roadshow to learn about car insurance. Maybe we have a deal. Who knows? But that is the type of strategy that you need to be thinking about. People in Siparia are searching for car insurance. They're searching for car insurance. And then the next step would be to start doing the research, learn the marketing skills, learn the search engine optimization skills that allow you to tap into Google data. And then you can start to see, well, what questions do people have about car insurance? What are they looking for? So look at this. In Trinidad, these are some of the questions people ask about car insurance. How car insurance works after the accident. Which car insurance is the best? Will car insurance cover a blown engine? Which car insurance is cheaper? Are car insurance companies open on weekends? Why car insurance is mandatory? These are questions that Trinbagonian people are asking about car insurance. And yet nobody in insurance is asking or answering any of these questions. But your people, your audience, your potential customers, they're still asking these questions. But when we type these things in, right? So let me grab why car insurance is mandatory. Why car insurance is mandatory. And let's see. Exactly. All of the search results that pop up are for outside markets. The first one that pops up, the zebra.com. bankrate.com, progressive.com, car.co.uk, godigit.com, every single page that comes up with, look at this, Geico, Progressive, State Farm, USAA, Allstate. These are all U.S. companies. Why is it that no insurance company, why is it that no insurance agent, why is that nobody in the entire Caribbean shows up? That's because no insurance company, no insurance agent is actually looking at consumer data, creating content, and then learning how digital marketing works to show up in the search results so that we, the people who are asking the necessary questions, get information. So now what happens is, the reason why we have to wait so long for these people to answer the phone or for these people to respond to emails is because that's the only way to get localized information. The only way to get localized information from insurance companies is by calling them. And if everybody has to call them, then that means your phone lines are going to be bogged down, messing up your KPIs. Your agents are going to be working a heck of a lot harder than they have to because basic questions that people are asking. I just pulled up data from Trinidad and Tobago over the last 30 days, and I could see all the questions that people are asking. I can see the cities they are asking these questions from. And no information from Trinidad and Tobago companies or Caribbean companies shows up. So that means we got to call you or we got to email you and wait till you answer the phone or wait till you respond to the email. This is why I say insurance companies are failing when it comes to how they sell and failing how they market to their consumers. They're failing. Over the last week, there has been a spike in the last week in Trinidad for people searching for car insurance. There's been a spike. July 17th to the 23rd, there has been a spike in car insurance searches on Google. And the companies don't know this. The last time it was this high was May 8th to May 14th. And then February 20th to 26th February 20th to the 26th. So we can see the interest in the searches. We can see when it goes up and when it goes down and when it's peaking. And that will allow us to further do more research. Right? So these companies need to start learning and investing how to do digital marketing. Right? And a big part of the digital marketing is the research side, the content marketing side, the copywriting side. Putting out content so that we can find it when we are conducting our research, right? I even have, and I won't go through this, but I took 15 insurance companies in Trinidad, and I threw them into a tool to give me a breakdown of who is getting the bulk of the website traffic. So I took 15 companies, put them into this tool, and it gave us a breakdown of who is getting the bulk of the website traffic. Who are the audience visiting when they go to insurance companies? I'll give you guys the first three, and then you guys can go and look at the blog, and you guys can get the rest of the information. But the first three is ICWI, My Guardian Group, and then Sagicor. Those are the top three websites in insurance that are getting the bulk of the website traffic. Some other questions that people are asking about insurance from Trinidad over the last 30 days are, can car insurance deny a claim? Can car insurance be backdated? How car insurance works? How car insurance is calculated? How car insurance works after an accident? I said that already. Are car insurance rates going up? Are car insurance companies open on the weekends? Are car insurance quotes free? Listen. There was over 400 questions that people in Trinidad asked about car insurance. The word car insurance alone has 400 questions over the last 30 days. And that's just the word car insurance. That's not, all of the other terms in insurance. If we were to go into a full in-depth research about all of the different terms and products and services that fall under the insurance umbrella, health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, and then all of the other things in between, we would have thousands of questions that people are Googling every single month. And none of the information can be found on your website or found on Google from a Caribbean company. And social media is not a search engine. So we're not going to go to your social media platform and scroll through a month's, 2 months, 3 months worth of content to find the answer. Nobody does that. That's not consumer behavior. And if you think people are going to do that, you're lying to yourself. We don't do it. You don't even do it. You, the insurance agent, do not go to people's Instagram accounts and scroll through 6 months of content looking for an answer. You don't do it. So why do you expect us to do it? We're not going to do it. We don't do it. All right? All of this data and research is available when you, the companies, and you, the agents, start to invest in the skills to learn how to do market research. And obviously you want to do it because if you invest in the skill sets, you guys can start to generate your own data. You start to get your own consumer data. The data is there to be extracted. This took me 15 minutes. 15 minutes of just looking at data, and I pulled it and I put some of the information in the blog to give you guys a little sneak peek as to what you guys are missing out on. And then you guys could turn that into content that we could find. If you were to Google, and here's another thing, right? Things like podcasts are Googleable as well, right? So if we type in something like, let's just jump on Google and we type in something like insurance podcasts. Let's see what comes up. Insurance podcasts. Look at that. Look, when you type in insurance podcasts, look at the amount of podcasts, insurance podcasts that pop up. And the reason why I'm saying this is because nobody in the Caribbean has an insurance podcast. But insurance podcasts are popular. They're also Googleable. People listen to insurance podcasts because we want the information. But we don't want you to call us at 7:30 at night telling us to visit you in your office for 30 minutes so you could tell us, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. I don't want you to slide in my DMs for unsolicited messages. I don't want that. I'm not on social media to be sold to by insurance agents. So you're never going to reach me by unsolicited calls. You're never going to reach me by an unsolicited message. And a lot of the new age consumers are like that. We want to Google. We want to research for ourselves. We want to build trust without speaking to you first. And then when we feel like, okay, I've learned enough, let me reach out. At that point, the conversation is smooth sailing. I know who you are. I know what you are about. I trust you. You don't have to sell me anymore. Now we're just going to figure out what's going to work for me. And I could have an educated conversation because I'll know a bit so that when you are speaking, I have an understanding as to what's going on because I've been watching you. I've been listening to you. So if you've been thinking about, getting into places where you can be Googleable and build authority as an insurance agent, a podcast is a big one. Just jump on insurance podcasts. Go listen to a couple of insurance podcasts. See, what they're talking about, what their angle is, how they're formulating their podcasts, and get some ideas and create some localized content for an insurance podcast. Because we need it. We will listen. We need it. I will listen to an episode on Keyman Insurance from a Trinidad insurance agent. I would. I'm not going to visit you in your office. I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to get on a phone call with you to learn about Keyman Insurance. Your message to me is going to be deleted if you come to solicit Keyman Insurance to me. But I would listen to an episode on Keyman Insurance if you had a podcast. If you had a Keyman Insurance blog, I would read it. I would read it. So you need to start thinking about these things. Stop thinking about yourselves. Start thinking about the consumers. Start learning how to extract consumer data. Start looking at consumer behaviors. How are they doing their research? What platforms are they hanging out on? Because I can find out what platforms people are visiting. I can see if it's LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. I can see all of those things. You guys can too. But you need to learn the skills and get the tools to extract all of that data. And then you can start to craft your approach to consumers. And the more you craft, the better you craft your content and the way you approach consumers, you're obviously going to get more business. You're obviously going to get more business. So I would recommend for the insurance companies, get your people to start thinking about digital marketing. That way you have people on hand who can start to extract the data and guide your digital strategy. You can reach out to a digital strategist. You could reach out to me or any other digital strategist to help craft your digital strategy and your content strategy, right? Insurance agents, I would advise you to get your own website. Get your own website. Put your content out on your website. That way you can take advantage of being Googleable. Don't wait for the company to do it. Some of you guys are putting out content. Get yourselves a website. Put your content on your website so you can start to appear in Google searches. For everybody who has social media and you're doing social media videos, take your TikTok videos, take your Instagram videos, start your YouTube channel because YouTube is a search engine and your videos show up on Google search. Your YouTube videos show up on Google search. So the most immediate thing you can do is take all the videos that you have on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, dump it on YouTube. Because none of the platforms you guys are putting your content on are searchable. Put all of those video content, put it on YouTube Shorts. If you have TikTok videos, put it on YouTube Shorts. If you have regular long-form videos, put it on YouTube. It automatically becomes searchable via Google. Start thinking about a podcast. Start thinking about a podcast. If you have your website, blog, embed your videos from YouTube, embed it on your post, have a write-up on your website. That's going to increase the breadcrumbs you're dropping and increase the traffic to your platform. If you are somebody who might not be the greatest writer, start the podcast. A podcast is easy to set up. Easy to set up. You just need a mic in your computer and start to record. Create that insurance podcast. Become the go-to leader in insurance in the Caribbean, in your country. Insurance companies start to invest in digital strategists. Insurance agents invest in your personal brand. Get your own website. Push your content on your website. Take all of the videos that you have on social media, create a YouTube channel, dump it on YouTube. You automatically become searchable. Learn how Google Business works. Learn Google Business, sign up for the free account, start to put your information on Google Business. That way you can start to show up in Google Search. You can show up on Google Maps. You can put your content on Google Business as well for it to show up in Google searches. Start to learn skill sets like SEO, search engine optimization, so you can start to extract the data, the consumer data, to help craft your marketing and your business strategies. Okay? Anything else, you guys are going to have to pay for. You guys could either, give me a call, book a session with me, attend one of my workshops that are going to be coming up. I even have digital courses teaching about how to extract marketing data and understand consumer behavior to craft your content. I will link the digital course in the show notes as well. So that's anybody who wants to learn how to extract data and use data to turn it into content. You guys can check out that course. And I will link to that in the show notes as well. So I'm going to link to the blog about the insurance that I did in the show notes. I will link to the consumer data course and turning into content. I will link to that digital course. And again, that digital course is you do it at your own leisure. It's already done. You take it. The videos are already done. You guys do it at your own pace. It's a self-paced learning course. Okay? And then look out for the upcoming workshops. I'm going to be, come August, I'll be getting back into the workshop vibe. Right? I haven't done my own Karen Rose branded workshops. I've done a ton of workshops this year, but it's been on everybody else's platform. So I'm going to get back into the Karen Rose branded Digipreneur Foundations workshops come August. I was about to say October, yes? Come August. All right. So that's it for me on today's episode. What is missing from insurance agents marketing and selling? Hopefully this gave you guys some information, some food for thought, things to take into consideration. Okay. If you guys are not following me on social media, you guys can check me out on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Keron Rose, KeronRosc. You can also check out the KeronRose.com website. Again, I blog. I'll be blogging a heck of a lot more. Check out the KeronRose.com website to learn how to build your digital presence and your e-commerce and marketing strategies. All right. Also, feel free to check out the digipreneur.fm website to stay up to date on all things related to the podcast as well. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. This was another fun one for me. Happy Monday and take care.
You've been listening to the Digiboss, Keron Rose. We hope your notepad was filled after this episode. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. The learning doesn't stop, folks. And to make sure you don't miss any gems from the Digiboss, go over and follow him on all social media platforms at Keron Rose. Folks, don't just sit there with a notepad. We need you to implement at least one thing into your business before the next episode. That's the only way your business levels up. Thanks for listening to Digipreneur FM. Now go be great.